Hello guys, myself Anshuman Jaiswal welcome you all in my Commerce Gateway classes. Till now we have discussed the theoretical concepts of accounting. Hope so it is clear to you. For those who have not watched my theoretical concepts of accounting, you can go into the playlist and check whichever theoretical concepts you want. So from today's class we will be dealing with practical concepts of accounting, and we are going to start with first practical concepts of accounting of class 11, that is accounting equation. Accounting equation is the most important, interesting and easiest chapter of class 11th accounts. So let's get started to our lecture. First of all, you should know that accounting equation is based on dual aspect principle. Dual aspect principle. It might be asked in your examination or in your test that accounting equation follows which principle. So accounting equation follows dual aspect principle. Now what does it state? It states that every transaction has a dual effect, means whatever transactions we are recording has its twofold effect. Later on when we will discuss this practical, we will understand the dual aspect principles. Now moving on to the second concept of accounting equation. Second concept of accounting equation is its definition, which states that accounting equation is an equation or formula of accounting or mathematical equation which states that assets of the business should be equal to total of liability and capital. If we express it as mathematical form, then it would be that assets is equal to liability plus capital. Now to illustrate this equation, let us take an practical example. For example, Mr. Ram has to start a business of t-shirt. Mr. Ram has to start a business of t-shirt and he need rupees 10 lakh to start a business. Mr. Ram has to start a business of t-shirt and he need rupees 10 lakh. But the Mr. Ram has in his pocket rupees 6 lakh. Would he able to start a business? Not at all. He would not be able to start a business because his requirement to start a business is 10 lakh. Now Mr. Ram become upset and one of his friend known as Mr. Shyam suggested him to take a bank loan. Since he is a reputed customer of the bank, so bank would easily give him loan. Now Mr. Ram had a bank loan of rupees 4 lakh. Now earlier Mr. Ram has in his pocket 6 lakh and bank loan he has taken which is of 4 lakh. So the total amount will be 10 lakh. Would now he will be able to start a business? Yes, he would be able to start a business. Now the concept of accounting equation behind this is that the 6 lakh which the Mr. Ram has in his pocket is known as capital. Which is known as capital. What is capital? Capital refers to the amount which is invested by the proprietor in a business. This is the capital. Now the 4 lakh the amount which Mr. Ram took from bank as a loan is known as liability. What is liability? Liability refers to the amount which the liability refers to the amount which has to be paid to the outsider on due time, within the due time. And what is this? Rupees 10 lakh. 10 lakh is nothing but it is an asset. How it is an asset? It is an asset because 10 lakh will be invested in the business in the form of land purchase, building purchase, machinery purchase and some form of cash Mr. Ram will keep. So what do you mean by an asset? Asset is something which helps to start a business. Yeah, we can, in simple words we can say that asset refers to anything which give cash or benefits. Okay, so here accounting equation gets proof that assets is equal to liability plus capital as illustrated with example. Hope so it is clear to you. Moving on to the third concept, that is The third concept of accounting states that capital, as already discussed, that asset is equal to liability plus capital. Now, what is capital this state? This capital is an internal liability, and this liability is an external liability. Now, how this capital is an internal liability? Let us discuss this concept. This capital is an internal liability because of business entity concept. Business entity concept or principle, as already discussed in accounting principles, that what is business entity concept. Let us give the brief discussion of this. Business entity concept states that both the owner and the business have their different identity. They are not same. For example, if I am running my coaching classes as Commerce Gateway classes and my name is Anshuman, then I am suppose the owner of this coaching, then both are different. I am different and my coaching classes is also different. For example, Reliance company and Mukesh Ambani both are different from business entity principle. So from the accounts point of view, business entity principle states that whatever transactions we record in the business, is from the point of view of the business, not from the point of view of businessman. All transactions, these things you have to remember, all transactions took place in accounting from point of view of business, not owner. So this thing you have to remember. This is the most important concept in accounting. So it is third concept also get clear, that why the capital is considered to be the internal liability. Moving on to the next concept, that is format of accounting equation. Let us discuss the format of accounting equation. It's very simple and very easy. After clearing the format, we will move on to its practical concepts. So let us discuss the format. So format of accounting equation. Format. So here you have to write first accounting equation. Then you have to write a serial name, or it can be date, anything given in the question. Then here you have to write particulars. Then here you have to write assets is equal to liability plus capital. So after this you have to make one more column. Assets could be cash, stock, you can write here goods in bracket, plus debtor, that is customer, that is liability. In liability you can write creditor, and it is no change here. So this is the format of accounting equation. As assets could be anything, but main three assets are cash, stock, debtor. Depending upon the question, it can be building, typewriter, machinery, etc. So we can adjust according to that. And in liability it could be anything, but main it is creditor, and capital will be capital since it is an internal liability as already told. Now if the transactions is given anything, you have to write here transaction, and you have to pass the recordings of this. Cash, suppose if it is given, debtor given, stock given, creditor given, amount of creditor plus amount of capital. So second transaction you have to also do like this. Third also, fourth also, depend upon how many transactions is given. You have to question, you have to follow that transaction, you have to attempt that transaction, and when your transactions is finished, you have to write here final equation. Means your transactions is finished and now nothing transactions are left. You have to do the total of cash plus stock plus debtor plus, you can say that creditor and plus capital. After totaling, you have to remember one thing, that asset should be equal to liability plus capital, means all these three will be equal to of all these two. If it is equal, then the accounting equation proved to be the helpful and it is correct. If it is not, then might be you have done something wrong. So this was all for today's video. So please like, comment, share and subscribe my video. So moving on, so we will move tomorrow. Thank you, stay safe and have a nice day.